feel what I'm saying? Hold on, guys. Hold on. Gizzo, Gizzo, Gizzo. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, here we go. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me clearly. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all put a 100 in the chat if you can hear me nice and crisp. But we gonna get right into this. Listen, man, it's your boy Grown Man Business TV. You feel what I'm saying? You can tap in, you can tap out, but you know my slogan. You know what I suggest, and I suggest you tap in. So let's get right into it. Now, listen, man. Time and energy are the highest forms of currency, my G. Energy are the highest forms of currency at all times. You are chasing the bag, chasing that money, getting to that moolah, getting to that guap. You feel what I'm saying? But always keep in front of your mental Rolodex that time and energy are the highest forms of currency, my G, at all times. I mean, it is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. You already know where you at. You know what I mean? Now, listen, man, big salute to all my day one investors. Big salute to all my day one investors, everybody that been locked in since day one. You know what I mean? Tapped in, growing organically. The channel is growing organically. That's how we like it. We don't want no GMO content. We want that organic content. Feel what I'm saying? So big salute to y'all, and an even big salute to the newcomers, to everybody that's tapping in, everybody that's coming into the DMs saying what it do, Big G and BTV, the Oracle. And don't you forget the TV. I mean, you better always remember the Oracle. Like we getting a lot of traction right now, a lot of views, a lot of engagement right now. So big salute to all the new subscribers, everybody that's coming in, everybody that's hearing word of mouth. You know what I mean? So you already know how we giving it up. Now listen, man, put a 100 in the chat if you can hear me clearly. I am constantly on the road. You already know. Uh, I'm in New Mexico right now. I'm in New Mexico right now, crossing state lines at all times on my way to the West Coast. Now I mean, um, big shout out to my homie Two Blown. You feel me? Um, he on the West Coast. I got a few people on the West Coast that I rock with. And I'm on my way to LA right now. You know, salute, salute, salute. Yeah, just wanted to make sure y'all can hear me clearly because anytime I'm outside the big house, and I'm on the road, I want to be sure that my voice is being heard, even while I'm getting this money, even while I'm running up this bag, even while I'm in this 18 wheeler doing what I do best, my G. Big salute, big salute. Again, you know what I'm saying? If you can hear me loud and clear, go ahead and put that 100 in the chat. If you can hear me loud and clear, put that 100 in the chat. But yeah, man, you already see the title. You see the title, you feel me? And you see the thumbnail. So I always like to kind of start with that because the thumbnail and the title is gonna let you know what we talking about. It's gonna let you know, how we gonna jump this thing off. And right now I'm talking about the young lady that lost her life out there in New York City the other night after that party. Now it get deep, it get wicked, and it's always deeper than rap when you scratching the surface. It's always deeper than rap when you scratching the surface here at Grown Man Business TV. And you already know we gonna scratch the surface. And you heard the name, you see the name, it's Grown Man Business. This is Grown Man Business. So it's only right that I give my perspective, that I give my thought process, that I give, you know, my angle on what's going on with this particular situation that happened in New York City the other night. You understand? Now, if you don't know, from what I've done, the due diligence from the videos that I've seen, big salute to everybody in the DM that's shooting the information to me every day. Tons of information. Um, it was a group of young adults. I don't want to call them kids because they wasn't kids. They were young adults. They had just left a party, and you know how they do in New York City. If you don't know, these in New York City they got bodegas. They got the poppy stores. They got bodegas, corner stores is what we call them where I'm from. But in New York City, they call them the bodega. And all of these young adults, they leave the party and they go to a bodega. They hungry. They've been smoking all night. They've been drinking all night. They've been partying all night, and now they want some chopped cheese, and they want beef patties, and yeah. They want the bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich chopped in half. They want the chopped cheese. They want it the Aki way. Yeah, They want it the Aki way. They go to the Aki store and they want it the Aki way, right? So all of these young adults, they go to the store and they're ordering food. And now, mind you, it's late night, well past 12 o'clock, well past 1 o'clock. I'm thinking it was, from what I can see, 2, 3 in the morning. And it's nothing good out at 2, 3 in the morning. And I'm going to elaborate on that. I'm going to elaborate right here from the 18 wheeler, crossing state lines at all times. I am going to elaborate. I am going to elaborate on what's going on. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna pull up in this way station, but so they getting their chopped cheese, they getting their food, they enjoying themselves, and you gotta understand something. When you leave a party, man, when you leave a club, when you leave that type of environment, after you get out of there, you might want to get some food, but for the most part, everybody's trying to go home, homie. You feel me? Everybody is trying to make it to the house. Everybody's trying to make their way home. And I'm sure that's what these young ladies wanted to do. So, what happened was they're approached by a young man. They're approached by a young man. He sees these young ladies. He thinks they're attractive and he tries to talk to one of them. And, one thing for sure, two things for certain, something that comes with being a man, something that helps walk you into manhood is something that happens to all men, to all of us. You understand what I'm saying? And it helps build your character. It helps walk you into manhood. It's something you can't get around, homie. It is what it is, and it'll be what it gotta be. But you have to go through this. It's called rejection. It's called rejection, homie. Nah. Listen, let me. When I get that question right there, um, sacred beings, right? I'm thinking that's what I can see. I'm trying to drive. I'm not a truck driver, homie. I just drive trucks. It's a difference. You know what I'm saying? You got some people that are they get into this business, they get into this industry, and they become the industry. They become the average truck driver you see hopping in and out the truck with a beer belly and yeah. Nah, I'm not a truck driver. I just drive trucks, to answer your question. But back to the topic, back to the issue at hand, right? So she's approached by a young man and he can't accept the rejection. It's rejection. She rejects his offer. She rejects his advances. And you know, after he's rejected, he can't take it. He don't know how to harness his energy. He don't know how to control his emotions. And he stabbed Shorty in the neck. He stabbed the young lady in the neck, man. Now, mind you, she gets stabbed in the neck, she go down. Her twin sister comes out to protect her and to attack her attacker. And then he stabs her in the heart. And then when she hits the ground, he stabs her in the neck. Now, one of the young lady that got assaulted first, she passed away. The other young lady is in critical condition. And that's the story that's in the media right now. That's the story that everybody's talking about. That's the narrative that has been put out into the public. That is the situation. This young man couldn't accept rejection. He couldn't accept being turned down. And you know, being as though he's far from grown man business, he don't know how to, and he wasn't taught how to uh handle his emotions. As a man, you're going to be taught, you're going to learn in due time that you have to handle your emotions. You got to know how to control yourself. You got to have discipline. These are things that I preach over here on this channel. You feel what I'm saying? And if you are in tune, you already know that. If you're not, hey, be sure to subscribe to the channel so when these live streams pop up, you can do what you got to do. But yeah, I am not a truck driver. I drive trucks. It's a big difference, right? So now the mother's doing her rounds on the news, on social media, searching for justice, because not only did this young man um you know in the life of one of these young ladies and critically wound another one, he ran off and now he's in hiding. You understand? And that's, again, hold on guys, 'cause I'm at a way station right now. Hold on real fast, guys. I'm at a way station. Let me see something real quick. Uh, See, when you come into New Mexico, you gotta pull in through a bunch of way stations in New Mexico. They don't play no games in New Mexico. No games. So you gotta make sure all your paperwork is right. Make sure everything is lined up nice and neat. And here we go. We are entering New Mexico right now. So this is gonna bring me into my first angle, right? My first angle is the fact that this young man assaulted these young girls, and nobody. Yeah, 444. You see that, right? But I'm in New Mexico, so I'm about 2 hours behind you guys. So it's 2:44 where I'm at. Yeah. But anyway, nobody tackled this young man. Nobody stopped them. Nobody put their life at risk or put their body at risk or put themselves in harm's way to protect these young women. And that's one of the main things that stuck out to me. You understand? One thing for sure, two things for certain, man. Men gotta be men. And I told y'all, the majority of the males that you see are not men. So all the men that was around, all the males that were in that group that were getting their chopped cheese sandwiches, nobody stepped out to help these young women. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. You got to know something. See, that young girl smelled it on you. When that man approached her, when that dude approached her, trying to get her number, trying to talk to her, trying to approach her and advance her, she already could tell you was a sucker. She already could tell you was a piece of shit. She already knew you was nothing. That's why she wasn't to give you any play. That's why she wouldn't give you her number, because she could subconsciously smell the sucker in you. And because that young man felt like she saw him for who he really was, he took her life, man. He took her life. You know, you got to be very careful who you around. A lot of these dudes dress up like grown men. They walk like grown men. They learn the demeanor of grown men. They know how to, you know what I'm saying, move and sway, and they know how to disguise themselves like grown men. But under all that BS, under all that jewelry, under all that designer, under all of that extra stuff that they do and they wear, they suckers, man. And you not safe with them. You the you the furthest thing from safe when you around these young boys. You know. Now, I'm not gonna spend a whole lot of time chastising them young guys, but I did want to give that angle, because how is it that this young man still hiding out? How is it that, you know, it's multiple upon multiple people that know this young man did that crime, and nobody turned them in yet. Nobody went to his house. Nobody went to his grandmama's house. Nobody's knocking on the door like, listen, homie, you gonna turn yourself in, or we gonna turn you in? That's unacceptable. That's an unacceptable body right there. That's not something you caught in the midst of war. That's not a body we can respect, homie. You killed the young girl like that. Listen, why is there nobody in New York City? All the hooligans, all the thugs, all the so-called big dogs out there. Ain't nobody knocked on his mama door yet and said, "Where your son at?" Word on the street is the young boy fled, and he ran, and he went to New Jersey. He went to New Jersey to hide out at his grandmama house. You understand what I'm saying? So your grandmama, and I don't want to put nothing on his grandmama, because a lot of the times with the elders, man, they not 100% sure. They don't know what we into. They don't be knowing what we into. We come into their house, we they grandbaby. They hey grandbaby, they kiss you on the cheek, they give you something to eat, they make sure you're full, and they don't know we was out there hustling and bustling and doing everything we was doing in the streets. So I don't really want to put nothing on his grandmama. He knew he was gonna be able to go to his grandmama house and lay low. But why ain't nobody? I'm talking everybody on his own block, all this anybody that know him. And one thing for sure, two things for certain, you gotta understand something. Everybody know who this young man is in New York City. It's a gang of people in New York City that know at this present moment who committed the crime. Yeah, homie from your hood, homie from my hood. We heard he was out X, Y, and Z, and he did that. Word done already got back on who did it, even if the police don't know. And that's one of the most disappointing things about the community, man. That's one of the most disappointing things about the people is that, when something is dishonorable, y'all still honor it. I'm gonna say that one more time. When something is dishonorable, y'all still honor it. So everybody's, nobody want to be a snitch. You got the whole don't snitch situation, and everybody knows it. Stop snitching and don't snitch. But if it's a dishonorable situation, that don't apply to you, homie. Let me give you an example. You rob an old lady coming from her job 12 o'clock at night at the bus stop, and you kill her, and we found out you did that. The no snitch policy don't apply to you, homie. You either gonna turn yourself in, or we gonna turn you in, or we gonna turn you under, homie. You gonna lay down, or you gonna stay down, cause you definitely gonna get down. So you gonna turn yourself in, or we gonna turn you in, or if you don't want to get turned in, you gonna get turned down, homie. You got three options. Why do y'all honor things that are dishonorable? If this young man was trying to talk to this young lady and he took her life because she rejected him, that is dishonorable, homie. You don't get to hide out in New Jersey. You don't get to hide out at your mama house. You don't get none of the extras. You don't get none of the benefits that come with this life in this game that you obviously playing. You don't get that. We not waiting for police to find you. We not waiting for the white man to come get you. We gonna come get you ourselves, homie. That's what it's supposed to be. So it's disgusting work. And I want to say this, right? I want to say this. Things like this happen all over the world. Things like this happen all over the country. It happens everywhere, right? So I want to say that because I don't, when I get to talking about New York, you know how people feel like, oh man, why you talking about New York like that? Yo, he got something against New York. He a hater. He don't like New. Nah, see, it ain't nothing like that. I told y'all, I'm well connected in East New York. I'm well connected in Brooklyn, Manhattan, Spanish Harlem, Uptown. I'm all over New York. But it is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. And it's disgusting work, my G. All these people in New York, all these different hooligans, all these gangsters and dudes that get on this app and get and rap on these tracks and do all this acting and rapping and tapping and spitting and skitting. In real life, homie, they ain't nowhere to be found. It's all a facade. They don't stand on no business. If let me say this before I go to my next angle. If the dudes in New York really united on some real life, like real life unite, we standing on business, things like this wouldn't happen no more. Because the real men in the community would say, yo, you committed that crime, that's dishonorable. If you do anything dishonorable, homie, you get dishonored. You do anything dishonorable, you get dishonored. That's it. Decapitation, we cutting your head off. Put them on a chopping block, it's over. You gonna get down or you gonna lay down. And if you lay down, you already know you gonna stay down. You gonna stay down. Because you gotta understand something. It's gangsters everywhere. It's big dogs everywhere. It's grown men that stand on grown man business everywhere. So for the big dogs in New York, for the grown men in New York, for all the real ones, it's time for y'all to stand up, man. It's time for y'all to take control over the community. That's why it's called the community. It's a chain of command in this. God, man, woman, child. That mean the man is right under God. That mean we controlling this. What are we talking about, man? And let's talk about this, man. Dogs out there. If you a big dog, if you a grown man that's in New York City that feel like you stand on grown man business, if you feel like you a big, I'm not talking to the hooligans. I'm not talking to the hooligans because it's a hooligan that stabbed that young girl and killed her in front of that bodega. I'm not talking to the thugs. It's a thug, it's a hooligan that did that to that young girl in front of that bodega. See, thugs and hooligans, that shit sound gangster. It sound dangerous. But in all actuality, it's a cover-up. The thugs and the hooligans are young men that don't know how to handle their emotions, young men that made mistakes ages and did that will be controlled by the big dogs. Soon as the big dogs come out, the thugs and the hooligans, yeah, they go that way. Soon as the real men step out, the thugs and the hooligans don't talk crazy. I'm gonna give you an example. These same thugs and hooligans, they talk loud, they get gangster, they do X, Y, and Z, and when they see the police, they run. Because in their mind, that man that's gonna put me in jail. Thugs and gangsters and hooligans, they act gangster, they do all of this crime and X, Y, and Z into a real, just imagine a white man stepping in that bodega, how everybody in that bodega would have got calm. How everybody in that bodega would have calmed down, and the same dude with the knife in his hand would have been looking at the ground saying, yes, sir, no, sir. So I'm just trying to give you, I'm trying to tell you that the whole thug and hooligan title, the whole image is a facade. You take them same thugs and hooligans and you put a white man in the same room, and them same thugs and hooligans is going to look at the ground and they're going to say, yes, sir, no, sir. So I'm just talking in general. Cause grown man business don't stop with race, homie. That's a universal law. That's one of the reasons why this is the name of the place where you at, or the platform you at right now. Grown man business is a universal law. It's a universal law, homie. It's grown men that's standing on grown man business in Alaska right now, fishing somewhere, feeding their family that live in yeah. It's grown men everywhere. It's a grown man in South Antarctica somewhere stabbing a whale to feed his family, homie. So this grown man business thing ain't just about race. It's about culture. This is a universal law. It's deeper than rap, homie. I tell y'all that all the time. This shit deeper than rap. Let's go to the next. Let's go to the next angle, man. The next angle is we outside. The whole narrative that's been painted that you need to be outside. Oh, we outside. We outside tonight. We outside tonight. Yeah, we going out. We ain't staying in the house. Why would we stay in the house? Baby, we going out. We outside tonight. We outside. See, again, you come here for the real, and I carved out a lane for the real, and I'm the only one in it. So I'm always gonna open your eyes and move the smoke and mirrors and pull the curtain to the side so you can see the whole narrative. And I said it right. We outside. That was a narrative. That was a whole propaganda sold to y'all. And we're gonna get deep into this angle right here because it's a special one. The reason why that whole propaganda been sold to y'all about being outside is because the only way to get rid of you is for you to be outside, homie. The enemy can't get rid of you if you inside all the time. The enemy can't infiltrate you. The enemy can't get rid of you. The enemy can't kill you. The enemy can't delete you if you in your house all the damn time, homie. Charlie P, what it do? Yeah, I knew I was gonna get a shooter soon enough. So a narrative been painted, a whole propaganda been sold to y'all, and you got all the celebrities and you got all the Baphomet worshipers saying we outside, and they chanting it. we outside. And now you got all the civilians and you got all the regular people saying we outside, and not only saying it, but coming outside. And that's a prime example of all these young adults coming from a party because they want to be outside, not knowing that it's death and destruction outside. It's poverty and pain outside, my G. The hellfire is outside. Now, why do I say that? Let me connect this for you. See, when you get older, you start acquiring property, you start leading a family. You done got all that out your system, right? You start realizing you want to be in the house. When you start, see this is the thing. Most people that's outside and want to be outside is because they ain't got nowhere else to go. They ain't got no home that they really want to be at. So they trying to spend all their time in the club. They trying to spend all their time outside. They trying to spend all their time somewhere else except wherever it is they call home. But once you get your own spot, get your own condo, get your own apartment, get your own house, right? Get you a nice bed. You done spent some money on this California king size bed. You know, orthopedic mattress on that thing is yeah, you already know. I guarantee you, you're gonna start wanting to be home. Like you start dreaming about being home. You start wanting. You just think about your bed and you say, "Man, I'm ready to get in that. I can't wait to get home and get in my bed, man. I can't wait." The higher ups in the elite said it ain't enough crime going on. It ain't enough death and destruction out in the streets. What we need, listen, this is what we need to do. Push the we outside propaganda. Because your home is your peace. Your house is your sanctuary. So in your house, you're gonna have positive energy. You're gonna keep your sanctuary a certain way. Those negative energies and that, yeah, the Baphomet he ain't gonna just be able to infiltrate your house where you pray at, where you rest at, where you meditate at, where it's love for your family at. See, those energies is outside. So we got to get you outside. And once we get you outside, now you end up losing your life because you done turned down a demon. Oh, you went out, listen, at 3 in the morning. When I was growing up, it was a saying. My uncles and my aunties used to say that ain't nothing open at 3 in the morning but legs. It's nothing open at 3 in the morning but legs. Anything else that's open is dangerous. And if you opening up legs, you doing it in the house. You trying to do it in the crib. It's nothing open, but it's nothing but evil outside after about 12, 1 o'clock. And around 4 or 5 a.m., you are not supposed to be outside, homie. I'm trying to give you some game. I'm trying to give you, listen, man, I put the game on the ground for the hungry hounds, homie. Only the hungry hounds. And if you want it, there it is. The hungry hounds will smell it out. They're going to sniff it out. And they're going to pick that game up. After 12 or 1 o'clock, it's nothing outside for you, homie. Around that time, it's nothing open but legs. But when you get around 3:30, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, you ever been up? You ever been outside around 4 or 5 o'clock? You know that feeling? It's because the evils is out there with you. That's when the evils is roaming the earth, homie. You supposed to be asleep, actually. But you know, we do what we want. We got free will, so you ain't gotta be asleep. But think about the last time you was up at 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. And I ain't talking about to go to work. I'm talking about like leaving a party. You know what I'm saying? In Atlanta, the clubs don't close till like 7 in the morning. So I know what I'm talking about when you leaving a club or you leaving a party and you out and about and you at the Waffle House and it's 4:30 in the morning. You can ignore the evils, but the shit is out there around that time, and it's every day, every morning. You will not miss it. The only people that want to be outside all the time is the people that don't got a house to call their home, man. Trust me, they don't got a house to call home. What they do have is a little apartment that their grandma might left for them. Antique shit everywhere. You don't really want to be in there all day. You know, these young girls, these young twin girls, they was living with their mama. They was living in an apartment somewhere in New York City, one of those one of those project buildings I always talk about, pissy hallways and pissy stairways, huh? Roach motel whole these shits is roach motels. These young girls was living it. They just wanted to be outside because they don't really got a house to call a home. They can't really they want to be outside, homie. They rather be anywhere, anywhere. And when you play that ball, when you play that game too much, you gonna lose. You can't win all of them. You gonna be outside past 12, past 1 o'clock, when the Baphomet is roaming the earth, and you gonna get swallowed up by one of those demons. And I ain't even gonna say pause, because this is a serious matter right here. So I'm not gonna say pause. You're gonna be outside 1, 2, 3 in the morning, thinking shit sweet, thinking you outside, and the demons is lurking, homie. And listen, the demons, they disguise themselves so well amongst us. They roam amongst us so well. You ain't even know homie had a knife and he was filled up with that demon energy, and he was about to send your spirit to the afterlife. He was about to send you out of here. Oh, you thought because you was pretty? Oh, the demons don't see none of that, baby. That right there come with being a human, with living in the flesh. But them spirits don't see your beauty, shorty. That spirit didn't care if your weave was nice and yeah, we that spirit don't care about that. You out of here. And I know it sound harsh. I know it's a harsh reality, you know. But I told y'all where y'all at. This is Grown Man Business TV. Listen, you know, you gonna hear a grown man with a deep voice, with a baritone in his voice, in an Adam's apple, giving you the game, man. You can take it or leave it. You don't gotta like the delivery. I can't sugarcoat it for you. I told you, I'm not a slave to the algorithm. I'm not a slave to a YouTube check. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. Everybody that stay in the club, that's because they ain't got a house to call a home, homie. Everybody that wanna be outside, you fell victim to a propaganda pushed by the higher ups and the elites. That shit is false. How many times you see this happening in somebody's house? We got exceptions to the rules for sure. But 9 times out of 10, when you go in your house and you lock your door, you safe. 9 times out of 10, in your house is protection in there. All different types of protection. Spiritual protection. Physical, material protection. Yeah. Yeah. You already know if you know about grown man business. It's a lot of guns in the house, homie. Just keep it blunt. Let's keep it blunt. Let's keep it real. They lied to y'all about being outside. Everybody outside. Look at the murder rate. You know why the murder rate look like that? Because everybody outside for the pickings. Now imagine this. Imagine those two twin beautiful young girls had a job at Amazon, working the overnight shift, getting to some money. Imagine if they was working somewhere at a FedEx warehouse or Amazon. But you know what? It ain't cool to work at Amazon. Ooh, try and give you some game, homie. Imagine you could have been anywhere in the world, but you was at a bodega at 2, 3 in the morning where the evils was at, where the demons was at, and thought because you was dressed up all nice and pretty, looking very, very attractive, I must say, that you was gonna make it home. Again, imagine if them young women was working at a 24-hour McDonald's somewhere, getting to a check. Maybe it was a small check. Slow money is better than no money, and for show money. Slow money is always better than no money, and for show money. If you was somewhere working at a warehouse, overnight your ass would be still here. And you gotta understand something, man. I want the picture to be painted very clear for you. This is not for shock value, but you got to, think to yourself, homie. You ever went to sleep and your whole arm go to sleep, or you ever went to sleep and woke up and your foot was asleep? Somebody stab you like that and you bleed out. Imagine your whole body going to sleep. Imagine your whole body going to sleep, tingling like your foot do when it go to sleep. Imagine that for a bullshit party at somebody apartment somewhere, a makeshift party at somebody house somewhere, just to be around a bunch of no you trying to come on, man. Come on, man. And that's gonna lead me into my next angle. Whole life is thrown away, whole life is gone because you wanted to be at a party and not understanding that when you are outside at these times of night, my G, it could happen in the daytime as well. Don't get it confused. We living in the matrix. So when you within this matrix, oh yeah, shit can happen any day. It can happen any moment. So I tell my young, I got two daughters. I got a daughter around that age, a young adult. And I always tell her, listen, keep your head on the swivel, keep your eyes on the road. Every time I talk, anytime she leave out the house, I tell her, keep your eyes on the road. Because as soon as you get in that car and you think shit sweet, soon as you get in that car and you think you got it all under control, here come a drunk driver in the light. Soon as and you to this party and you think you got it all under control, you done did this a million times. Nothing gonna happen, mom. Please just let me go to this party. You think you got it all under control and you done got comfortable and you ain't see a demon walk right up on you and smiled in your face first. Hey, baby, what's going on? You gorgeous. Oh, no, don't worry. I'm a demon on the inside. I'm a demon. But listen, you gorgeous, baby. I love you. What's that? What's that, Yaki? I like that weave you got. That shit beautiful. What's your number? Oh, I can't get your number. Oh, now here come the demon. You thought you had this shit under the control. Somebody's supposed to told that young lady before she left the house, keep your head on the swivel. It's a lot going on in America right now. Keep your head on the swivel. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. That's how fast this shit happened. That's how precious your life is. The demons, the devil, the Baphomet, whatever you want to call it, the evils is searching every day, every moment for souls, my G. You think it's a game? Oh, you thought it was a joke. And what you got, and before I go to my next angle, you're gonna understand something. This ain't Call of Duty. That's a whole nother propaganda. That's a whole nother narrative. They got y'all playing these video games all day, thinking you get an extra life or something. Thinking you gonna take a kill shot and then your ass gonna come back so you can start all over. Nah, this ain't Grand Theft Auto, baby. You get stabbed up, yeah, you out of here. This ain't a video game. The evil ain't playing no game with y'all. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. But that's gonna lead me into this third angle right here. And I always say this at the top of my live streams. If you in tune with the channel, you gonna know that I always lead with this because it's powerful and I truly believe in it. I live by it. I preach it to my kids and my wife and my family. I preach it to the homies and anybody that falls under my wing, anybody that's close to me, anybody I'm doing business with, anybody that I engage. Like I preach this. This is something that I live by. Time and energy are the highest forms of currency, my G. I know they got you out here chasing the bag. Look, I'm in an 18 wheeler right now, running up a motherfucking bag, yo. I'm in an 18 wheeler in New Mexico right now, running up a bag. Time and energy is the highest forms of currency. It's the highest form of money. Currency mean money if you don't know. I want this to go over your head and under your bridge. Currency means resources, money, whatever the resource of the time is. Time and energy trumps that shit. Why you saying that, grown man business TV? I mean, elaborate on that. Like, what you getting at when you say that? We hear you. We hear you say that every day. We hear you say that when you go live. We understand it. We hear you. But what you mean by that? Time and energy, right? So you got to be very cautious of where you spending your time and where you spending your energy. A month, look, somebody would be more concerned about where they spending a dollar at, a piece of paper, right? A dollar or two, where they spending that at. They more concerned where they spending the money at, but they don't really think twice about where they spending their time at and where they spending energy at. And let me apply that to the situation at hand with this young lady. You spending time and energy at this party. You risking your life when you could have been spending that time and energy again at a job, at your house, in your bed, getting sleep, getting some rest, getting some beauty sleep with your family. But you chose to spend that time and energy with evils. And the evil said, okay, perfect. Listen, I'm going to trade that with your soul. You don't mind, do you? We going to make a fair exchange, your time and energy, and I'm going to take your soul, and then I'm going to send you to your maker. I'm up one. We living. This is the domain for the evils, homie. And we living in it. So that's another reason why I say that, because with discipline, you will start to understand that, damn, I might want to go to this party, but you know what, man? It ain't even that serious. It ain't even that serious. Maybe next time, man. And I don't know, have a fucking stun gun or something. Have said something and he started going crazy. They said that everybody ran into the bodega. The owner of the bodega, Aki, he locked the door so homie couldn't come in. Why was that young lady the first one to go out there and see if that man was still outside? Time and energy. So that let me know you spending time and you spending energy with a whole bunch of suckers, because the dudes that was with you, nobody said, hold up, shorty. Hold up, baby girl. Let me go out there and see if homie's still out there, because he was acting kind of crazy and I don't want him to put his hands on you. Let me go see real fast if homie's out there. I'm going to just walk outside. Nobody did that. Shorty went out there and got killed. And then her sister went out there. You spending time and energy with people you shouldn't even be spending time and energy with. You're not even safe around these people. Time and energy are the highest forms of currency, man. If you don't have time, you don't have anything. If you don't have energy, what can you do? If you ain't got time, you ain't even got health. If you ain't got energy, then you gotta have these things first. These things are what's most important. Time and energy, my G. Time and energy are the highest forms of currency. And these youngsters feel like they got all the time in the world. These youngsters feel bruh, let me, again, right? The goal is to get old. The goal is to actually get old. Everybody think they want to be young, and everybody want to be young, and nobody want to be old. But the goal is to get old. So being as though, I'm aging gracefully, you know what I'm saying? It being as though I don't look my age, you know what I'm saying? And I'm great. I'm aging gracefully, I must say. You feel what I'm saying? Being as though that's what it is. I've lived long enough to be able to tell you and be able to understand that when you young, your mind is warped when it comes to time. I'm gonna say that again. When you a youngster, your mind is warped when it comes to the concept of time. What do you mean by that, grown man business TV, the Oracle, and don't you forget the TV? You better always remember the Oracle. Well, I'm gonna tell you what I mean by that. You remember when you was a youngster, when you went out and went to school, and then summertime came, and summertime felt like a long time. You just couldn't wait for summertime. You in fifth grade, you say, man, I can't wait. It's summertime, it's summer break, man. We about to be out of school. And summertime feel like 6 months. I mean, it feels like you've been out of school so long, you get to missing it. Towards the end of the summer, you kind of ready to go back. You got your new sneakers and your school clothes, and you saying, man, I can't wait to go back to school. I'm a stun on these, but yeah. And then you get older and you realize That shit ain't nothing but 2.5 months. You get, you grow up, right? And you say to yourself, damn, summertime over already. This shit is over. It ain't nothing but 2.5 months, my G. And it's getting shorter every year. But whatever these schools is doing, the shit getting shorter every year. And I say that to say this. When you a young adult, it's the same way. You thinking, I'm young. I got all the time in the world. Not knowing that your soul ain't no better than my soul. Your soul can get sent to the afterlife just like an old man's soul can get sent to the afterlife. And you're not even realizing that you're more successful because you want to be outside. Oh, you want to be outside. You know, and I'm not an old man at all. I'm far from an old man. But I'm old enough. I'm at a pretty. It's beautiful up here, my G. Take your time and get old, my G. Make sure you get to 40 and you go up higher. You hit 80. 40 it's a beautiful, it's a beautiful place. You know, I could attract your mama. I could attract your auntie. I could attract your sister. I could attract your niece. It's a beautiful place, but they mind fuck y'all to think that you don't want to get old, that it's too far away. So when you young, you think the summertime is a long time. When you 21, 22, 23, you saying, man, I got time. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to party. I'm going to have sex. I'm going to do drugs. I'm going to do all the stuff that I want to do because I'm young. And then your ass turn 30 and you realize I gotta get my shit together. Then your ass turn 40. It was a it was a song on Nas's album called I Am. Now, you youngsters probably don't know nothing about this. Nas had an album. It's my favorite Nas album. I would suggest if you haven't heard it, you go listen to it, go stream it. And it's called I Am. And it was a song that Nas had with DMX. Now, I'm going to get right to the point. It's a lot of songs on that album that I love. It's my favorite Nas album, right? But it was a song that Nas had with DMX. And it's a part of DMX verse that stuck with me. I heard it when I was younger. I never forgot it. It burned in my brain, bro. And it really was one of the things that helped me. It was like fuel for me. Every year I got older, I would think of this song and the part of the song goes like this. How it goes? Hold on. It go he said damn, how that shit go? You wake up one day, buddy. He said you was too hot. He said you wake up one. He said naked. Every day shit around the way shit got me stressed. I'm under the best. All time for games because I'm all up. Laugh when you get gone up. He said you wake up. He said you thought it was sweet. So he said one day you wake up. He said one day you 40. He said one day you're 40 years old on some bum shit. Time flew by. You was too high to see the light. Every day it's getting darker. Here comes the night. Now what? Realize that you ain't got shit. Not long ago you was the man on some hot shit. So just peep the flow. Like that line, wake up one day 40 years old on some bum shit. Look at your favorite YouTuber. Look at your favorite content creator. These dudes is 40 plus years old on some bum shit. And DMX said this a long time ago. And again, my point of even saying all that is that the elders is going to give you the game. The OGs is telling you your concept of time is warped. If you keep playing the wrong way, you're going to wake up one day 40 years old on some bum shit. Time flew by and you was too fly to see the light. Every day is getting darker. Now here come the night. See? See what I mean? Imagine if that young lady would have understood that. Imagine if they still, if the rappers and the actors were still making music that could lead you to, music that you could live by. I live by that. I never wanted to be that guy he was talking about. And I understood. That's when I really started. The first time I really was like, damn, the concept of time, I got it confused. I was young. Wake up one day, 40 years old, on some bum shit. Time flew by and you was too fly to see the light. Every day it's getting darker. Here come the night. Now what? Realize that you ain't got shit. Not long ago, you was the man on some. See, not long ago, you was the pretty young girl. You was the twin. You know, we all got that one set of twins in our neighborhood. Not long ago, you was the girl on some hot shit. Not long ago, now you a memory. Now you just a vague memory. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. But time and energy is the highest forms of currency, my G. Time and energy is highest forms of currency. And excuse me if I'm, but I'm so passionate about this. I'm passionate about this, homie. Those bars is certain things that Jay-Z said that it's words to live by. And when DMX said that, I live by it. I never wanted to be the dude that's 40 years old and ain't have shit. So the closer I got to 40, the more it rang in my ear every year. The closer and closer and closer I got. I'm an 80s baby. You could do the math. Early 80s. Now what? Realize that. So he said, so DMX said, you'll wake up one day. You one day you wake up and you 40 years old and you on some bum shit. And then you say to yourself, now what? Now what? After you turn 40, you realize that you ain't got shit. Back in the day, you was the man on some hot shit. Like, and when you start to grasp the concept of time, when you start to understand these things, and you start to really put in play that time and energy are the highest forms of currency, you won't be at these parties every weekend. You won't be in a position where you're vulnerable to be stabbed in the neck, bleed out on a filthy sidewalk where people spit at and put their gum and they dog shit on the. You know how it is in New York. They dog shit on the sidewalk. The dog piss on the sidewalk. You could get a fine for spitting on the sidewalk, but if a dog piss on the sidewalk in New York, he alright. Yeah, it is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. You know what I mean? It's disgusting work, and I seen a lot of content creators talking about this. Um, and again, I see topics all the time that I kind of think like maybe I should speak on it, maybe I shouldn't. I'm not from New York, so it's like maybe but when I see the DMs or all the engagement, everybody that sent me clips of this young girl, beautiful young girl, beautiful picture, beautiful young lady. You know what I'm saying? Homie would have been lucky. Homie would have been lucky for Shorty to give him some attention. She looked like a young angel. You understand? Like she probably could have. Ain't no telling. You know what I'm saying? She probably could have cleansed them of the demons. She looked like a young Aaliyah, an angel. But even angels get cast away down here, homie. So I wasn't sure if I was going to talk about it, but then what I realized is, again, this should apply to everybody. It's not just New Yorkers. This applies to the world. This applies to the whole United States of America. It applies to that. All the youngsters that think they got enough time to do everything they want to do. All the youngsters that they concept of time is warped. And then they wake up one day 40 years old and on some bum shit. Not long. Yeah. That whole thing. Either they wake up 40 years old on some bum shit, or they die, get their ass smoked, deleted, snot box rocks. You know how it, you know the game, man. You know how it go. And one thing for sure, two things for certain. I got a growing audience. You understand what I'm saying? And one thing I know is that if you got 100 people that kind of listen to you, if you got 50 people that kind of listen to you, it's just as powerful if you got 1,000,000 people that listen to you. And if you believe it or not, I'm gonna give you some game. The way you lead that 50 people plays a major part, homie, in what your soul is and what your and how you get how your judgments get weighed. It's very important. You think it's just YouTube. You think it's just social media. I told you a long time ago it's a portal, my G. This is a portal that we playing with. So you take this portal and you start manipulating shit and you start misleading the youth and you start misleading, yeah, like the rappers do, like Cardi B and them. You think look at that's a whole nother conversation. A whole nother conversation. But you think you're not paying for that? So when I come up here, it's only gonna be, I'm gonna give you game. We gonna have fun too. We gonna laugh and joke, but you gotta understand, I can't mislead you. I won't mislead you. I don't care how much money they put in front of me. I don't care what the dollar amount is. I'ma give it to you raw. I'ma give it to you straight. This what it is. And then I'll go and cause I come up in the 80s. I'm a hustler, baby. I'm a hustler, baby. For real. I come up in a time where it wasn't cool. It wasn't cool to be the junkie when I was coming up. So I'm not dependent on you. You don't ever hear me talk about YouTube checks and all that. I don't, I get up, I go get more. Oh, it's a lot of money on these roads, baby. Oh, that CDL thing. Oh yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of paper in that. You get real good with that. Don't let them lie to you, back. Don't let them fool you. So with the audience growing organically, only going up, I'm here to tell you. You know, if you an OG, if you an old head, we can rub shoulders. We can agree to disagree. We can have dialogue, and then you can say, "Damn, I ain't never thinking about it like that." And if you tell me, I can say, "Damn, I ain't never think about it like that." You can say, "Damn, yo, grown man business TV. I never really saw it that way." I mean, I always knew that we was time. Our time was warped. I always knew the concept was warped, but I never heard anybody say it like that. But you right, because when I was in 5th grade, I thought the summertime was a long time. Now when my kids get out of school, I know y'all ain't got nothing but 2 months. Y'all got 2.5 months and your ass going back to school. Take full advantage of it. You don't got that long. Your concept of time is warped. Yeah, man, I ain't think about it like that, GMB I told my nephew that. I told my niece that. I told my son that. I get DMs like that. Yo, I ain't think about it like that. I told my young boys that the other day. That was fire concept. I get that all the time in the DMs. Y'all gonna have to kind of, it is what it is. It'll be what it's gonna be. But I'm driving an 18 wheeler right now. I'm in New Mexico. The sun is shining. So I can't really engage with the chat like I like to, like I want to, But Charlie P's in the chat. Charlie P's in the chat. Hey, listen, I already know I could close my eyes. He knocking heads off at will. I ain't gotta tell him to shoot. He gonna shoot. Just understand where you at. This is grown man business TV. You amongst the grown man. You amongst grown men having dialogue. So if you think it's a game, or if you think it's a joke, or if you think it's something to play with, I'm gonna send you upstairs where the children is at, and I'm gonna tell you, listen, when you get up here, you play with these toys, you make sure you share. Don't get too loud. Don't talk too loud because we having grown man business downstairs. And if you get out of hand, if you get too loud, you get to fighting, y'all ain't sharing the toys. I'm gonna take my belt off. I'm gonna come up here and I'm gonna put belt to ass. Oh, you gotta be from a certain day and time when your mama and your daddy used to tell you and your cousins and a few friends to go upstairs and play. And if your ass got too loud, you got an ass whooping. Everybody got an ass whooping. I come from that day. So when you come into the chat, just understand that you're dealing with grown men. This is a grown man conversation. I got big dogs like Charlie P, Wisdom B, 777, yeah, Low Soul Warrior. I got some shooters in the chat. All in Alkaline lifestyle. She'll shoot you down too. Yeah, she'll shoot you down. And then she'll drink some alkaline water. Cause that's the lifestyle. It is what it is. It is what it is. Called young girl. R.I.P. to her. God rest her soul. You know. My condolences go out to her family and her mother. Um, and I would suggest everybody look at that. There's no way this young man should still be free. I don't care if he's at his grandmama house. Somebody know where his grandmama live at. It's supposed to be 30 to 40 men in front of that house, in front of that project building saying, yo, yeah, homie, you got the care. I told you. You gonna turn yourself in? We gonna turn you in? Or we gonna turn your ass down? You gonna get down and lay down. And if you lay down, you already know you gonna stay down. Ain't no getting up after that. You going where Shorty at. We can send you as where you her, we gonna send you right there with her. Homie ass to be in jail right now. No way, ain't no way around it. Salute Wisdom B. I see you in the chat. I'm gonna give you a wrench too, homie. I meant to do that last time. I meant to do that last time, but you know it's passion in this, man. It's passion in this shit. So I get the drop. You know the downloads start downloading, and I get to dropping. Now listen. Where we at? We 60 minutes in. I said all I needed to say about Shorty. We gonna go into a lighter note real fast. I want y'all to rock with me. We gonna go into a lighter note real fast. I saw something where Cameron and Mace was talking about Gilbert Arenas. And Gilbert Arenas, man, I want to say this, no chill Gil, whatever you want to call him. I just did a pre-recording. I'm editing it right now. It'll be up sometime today. And I'm a flame chill Gil. I gave him that work in the pre-recording, but right now I'm gonna just talk about the situation, right? And so Gilbert Arenas, he has a podcast, and he was on this podcast with Swaggy P, and they was talking about Saucy Santana. You know what I'm saying? Saucy Santana seems to come up a lot these days in media and on social. Saucy Santana is everywhere, and we already know the propaganda. We already know why we hear so much about Saucy Santana and why Saucy Santana is so prevalent. We already know why, right? But Gilbert Arenas basically said that he saw a video of Saucy Santana twerking, and he couldn't tell if he wouldn't be able to tell the difference between Saucy Santana and Megan Thee Stallion. And if they was twerking in front of him at the same time, he wouldn't know who to give his money to. He'd be throwing his money, but he don't know which one he's gonna be throwing his money on. And I'm not gonna go too far into this, but I just want to say, man, it's a lot of down low dudes out here. It's way more than we know. It's a lot of dudes that's on the down low, especially like athletes. And it's just all the way around. It's a lot of down low dudes, and they dress up like grown men on grown man business. They get a lot of money. They get muscles. They do all of these different things. They even have girlfriends, but on the low, behind all of that, behind the money, behind the muscles, behind the wife, behind the girlfriend, behind the kids, they still want a Saucy Santana in their life. And I was disappointed. And again, I'm not gonna go far into this because I was talking about the young lady, but I just wanted to mention this. Like, I was disappointed highly in Gilbert Arenas for the remarks that he made and for him flirting with Saucy Santana. Now, again, I was highly disappointed, but then soon after feeling the disappointment, I felt like, okay, I felt like, you know what? Um, I'm happy. I felt happy for him. I said, you know what? I'm glad that Gilbert Arenas came out the closet. You know, you got guys like Gilbert Arenas, you got guys like the Superman dude. I can't think of the tall boy name, but he plays Superman like Shaq. You got a lot of these athletes that rock with that lay down with Saucy Santanas. And what Gilbert Arenas did was he came out of the closet. Now a lot of people they feel like no, but I'm telling you, grown man business TV. I'm telling you for a fact that was Gilbert Arenas letting the world know subtly, like that's what he's into, and he did it in a joking manner so that if he receives too much backlash, right, he could say he was just joking, he was X, Y, and Z. But you got to understand something. Gilbert Arenas, Gil, chill, no chill, Gil, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. It broke my heart, man, to see no chill Gil get to a point in his career where he's flirting with a Saucy Santana, and he's telling the world that he don't know the difference between the two. Saucy Santana got a beard, homie. I'm talking, yeah, a full goddamn beard. This is a man. This is a Tampa Bay linebacker, a defensive end for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And it's looking like No Chill Gil, aka Gilbert Arenas, wants the Buccaneer. He wants the Buck. I told y'all, man, it's a lot of mechanics out here. And that's what I'm starting to call them, mechanics. What do you mean by that, Grown Man Business TV? Why would you call Gilbert Arenas a mechanic? Why would you call him a mechanic when he's an ex-basketball player and now he has a podcast? Well, I tell you why I'm calling, and that's his name. That No Chill Gil is a mechanic because he likes to work on transmissions. I'm gonna say it one more time for you. No Chill Gil is a mechanic. Can you hear me in the mic clearly? Is it crispy for you? I want to make sure you can hear me crispy clear in the microphone right here. No Chill Gil, aka Gilbert Arenas. He is a mechanic because late night on the low, he like to go out and he works on transmissions. Yeah, you know, every now and then the transmission get to slipping. Transmissions every now and then to get to slipping. And we can assure that Gilbert Arenas, because I don't want to confuse Gilly the Kid. It's too close. Gilbert Gilly, but Gilbert Arenas will work on that transmission after dark. He's been and listen, I guarantee, I put money, I bet the house on it. He's already worked on transmissions, just like the young boy. What's the boy Superman? What's the boy name? Ex-basketball player got caught with a transmission. The transmission got to slipping. Said that he violated him. Didn't change his oil the right way. Took him to court. What's the basketball player name? What's his name? Superman. He used to play. You know what I'm talking about. What's his name? Dwight Howard. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dwight Howard. He's a mechanic as well. These are co-workers right here. Dwight Howard and Gilbert Arenas are co-workers. And they choose to work on transmissions. You know, every now and then the transformer is gonna need transmission. Its transmission get to slipping, and the transformer is gonna need an oil change. And I don't want to go too far left on this, but I needed to say it. I needed to say it, and I did. And you know what? I did a live. I did a pre-recording, and I'm editing it. I'll be done sometime today, and I'm gonna drop it sometime today. And you make sure you on the lookout for that pre-record. Make sure you got your eyes open. That's why I said, everybody, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you have not subscribed to the channel and you are a newcomer, you are a new investor, investing your time and your energy in this live chat, investing your time and your energy into the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, baby. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. But Gilbert Arenas is a mechanic. And I can appreciate him coming out the closet the way he did. And Saucy Santana responded to him. Saucy Santana, first it was going to be a beef. You know him. You know Saucy run down on academics. He run it down on all these men. Saucy Santana run it down on them, and he hit the jackpot with Gilbert Arenas. Gilbert Arenas going, and listen. Gilbert Arenas gonna change that oil, Saucy Santana. He gonna change that oil for you. I like to say transmission because you got to be careful on these platforms. But then when I thought about it, I said, damn, it is like a transformer, a transmission. A transmission get to slipping sometime. Everybody, your transmission gonna get to slipping. And if you ain't got a Gilbert Arenas or a Dwight Howard to change that oil, it is what it is, and it'll be. Dwight Howard is a home. Dwight Howard is a part of the Rainbow Coalition. Gilbert Arenas is a part of the Rainbow Coalition. There's no way around it. If you a man and you don't know the difference between Saucy Santana and Megan, and I don't like Megan Thee Stallion, but ain't no way in hell I'm confusing the two. I gotta say, man, I just laughing. It's so funny. I just excuse me. I know I'm creating the content right now, but I just needed to laugh because for real, this shit is outrageous, bro. And then I don't know if he thought this shit was funny. I understand what he did. Very manipulative. Like most people didn't catch it, and most people laughed and thought it was funny and X, Y, Z. But I saw the smoke behind. Yeah, it got the smoke and mirrors. I saw what happened, homie. I know what you did. You subtly sent the shot. You was flirting with Saucy Santana, and Saucy Santana caught it as well because that grown man, Saucy Santana, could have easily played in the NFL. Easily. I call him a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. I feel like Saucy Santana was destined to be a Tampa Bay Buccaneer, and instead of playing football, he ended up becoming a Buccaneer, getting bucked down, a buck, and Gilbert Arenas want to buck him. Gilbert Arenas wants the buck. He wants the Buccaneer. He wants the Tampa Bay Buccaneer, Saucy Santana. Gilbert Arenas. It is what it is. And Saucy responded, and he says, "You know what, Gilbert? You always was his crush." He said he had a crush on you, Gilbert, since he was a long time ago. Now I want to leave y'all with this. You don't think Gilbert gonna slide? You don't think they done made contact already? So you really think like that he done told Gilbert said what he said. He said that thing was thanging, that he was twerking. He liked the twerk video and he wouldn't be able to tell the difference. He'll throw his money on Saucy. And Saucy Santana responded and said, "Yo, I had a crush on you for a long time." And you think they ain't already in the DM? You think Gilbert Arenas ain't already? And I want to do it like that because that's man clapping right there. You think they ain't already man clapped like that? You got to understand something, man. I told y'all to get to the top, to make it to the top, and I'm gonna do a whole live stream on this right here. But to make it to the top of any, we already know what you got to do to get to the top of the rap game. Did he do it? Did he do it? Clapping cheeks, and did he want to party on you? We already know what you got to do to make it to the top of the music industry. We already know what you got to do to make it to the top of Hollywood. We already heard the stories. It's already been proven. We already know what you got to do to make it in those portals. But I told you, YouTube was a new portal. YouTube is a new portal. It's a new way to get you with the higher ups and the elites. So now what's happening is, and I'm gonna break this down. And again, you ain't heard nobody say this. So now you got Gilly the Kid, one of the top black podcasters, NBA athlete, $100 million man, flirting with Saucy Santana, he clapping cheeks with Saucy Santana. Top of the podcast game, top of the YouTube game, top of this portal, right? You got Cam and Mace, and this is respectfully to Cam and Mace. This is respectfully, you know what I'm saying? Um, you got Cam and Mace at the top of the podcast game, but Cam already told the story where he went to Mace's house back in the day when Mace was clapping cheeks with Diddy and found the dildo on his sink. So, you know, Mason already had his experience with clapping cheeks and dildos and the Rainbow Coalition. Now Gilbert Arenas he's wanting to get into that same area, and Mace didn't. If you notice, Mace didn't even attack Gilbert. I mean, this would have been perfect opportunity to to have fun with this. The man, come on, Gilbert, come on, man. But how can Mace talk about Gilbert Arenas when Mace had a damn dildo on his sink. Why don't they? Nobody's asked Cam and Mace this question. Cam went on the Breakfast Club and explained that he found the dildo in Cam, when Mace was living with Diddy. So we gonna act like that never happened. We gonna act like nobody. We gonna act like we never heard that. Now they at the top of the podcast. They at the top of this shit. We already know what people think about Gillie and Wallow. I said my piece on that. He did lose or sacrifice his son, whatever you want to call it. I said my piece on that. I don't talk about that no more because it is what it is and it'll be what it's gonna be. So, but that's just another example. Because when it comes to those Nori doors that Nori was talking about, you either go. He said he don't know if it's a homo thing or if it's a sacrifice thing, but he knows it's one or the other. When you look at Gillian Wallow, you're looking at a sacrifice thing. When you look at Cameron and Mace, I know they successful. It's beautiful. I love the show. But every time I see Mace, I think about why we ain't got closure, no answers on why you had a dildo. What happened with that? And now we got Gilbert Arenas. Gilbert Arenas and Saucy Santana. That's the man cheeks. Man cheeks don't make it clap. It's just hard. It's hard like that. That's what I would think. You know what I'm saying? It's just like hard. You know what I'm saying? It's just what it is. I mean, I don't know. I don't indulge in shit like that. You know what I'm saying? That's just what come to mind when I think about Saucy Santana and Gilbert Arenas. When I think about Mace and Diddy and the dildo in the bathroom, I just think about I think it sound like that's how it sound. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. Listen, my next podcast, I said podcast, my next live stream, I want to go a little more in depth with that. Um, but I did give you a nice, synopsis of what I mean when it's deep, homie. This shit is deep. It's wicked. It's deeper than rap. Yo, Mace and Betha? Mace, it is what it is, what it is podcast. It is what it is podcast. Mace and Betha. I'm just asking you. Why did you have a dildo on your sink? If Cameron would have never went in there and asked you about that dildo on the sink, what would you have done with it? That's the real question. I would love to ask the question. Fuck was you doing, son? You did something because your ass ran to a church and became a pastor. So you was trying to get clean. You did something, Mace. Chill no Gil, Gil no chill. You already out the closet. It ain't even no question. We don't gotta. I don't need to ask him nothing. He said, I told you, close your mouth and open your ears, man, and look at who talking, and you will know exactly what you dealing with. All you got to do is be quiet. You ain't got to argue. You ain't got to go back and forth. You ain't got to prove them wrong. You ain't got to make a point. You ain't got to do nothing. Just shut up, close your mouth, open your eyes and your ears, and you'll see and hear exactly who you dealing with. Words to live by, youngsters. Free game for you right there. Take that shit if you want. Don't. It don't matter to me. Do what you want with it. But I'm gonna do a whole nother. I'm gonna do. You know what? I'm really tempted to go out and come back in and start a whole nother live. Well, I'm not gonna do that. But I'm gonna go live. And again, you ain't heard nobody say this on YouTube. You ain't heard nobody ask these questions. You ain't heard nobody connect the dots. Who connected the dots with this podcast thing? We looking at these podcasters and we saying to ourselves, "Wow, they're very successful. Congratulations. They found it. They found a way." But when you start doing the research and the due diligence, you say to yourself, well, damn, he like Saucy Santana. He got $100 million contract when his son, as soon as after he got $100 million contract, his son died. We don't hear nothing. That's just in the wind. He had a dildo on his sink when he was with when he was with Puffy. He ain't exposed why the dildo was on the sink. He never exposed Puffy for what. If it was just Puffy, why you ain't exposed it yet? And that's all I see. I respect Cam, But anytime when I see Mace, I just be like, man, I don't know. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I ain't, and then I gotta ask myself, if Cam found the dildo in the bathroom, why is he with Mace now? I mean, he forgot that happened. So Cam said, yo, you had a dildo in there, you was getting freaky with Puffy, but I want you for a show, and we gonna forget that. We gonna let bygones be bygones. No, we ain't letting bygones be bygones. We gonna let bygones be bygones when you tell me exactly what y'all was doing with that dildo, and be honest. I just want to know. I just want you to be honest. What was you doing with that dildo? Mace? Probably the reason why you ain't have nothing to say to Gilbert Arenas. But don't worry, Mason Betha, I got you. I got you. I did a whole pre-recording on Gilbert Arenas. Yeah. I can't even say that because that shit. I can't. I gotta be careful how I talk. I gotta be careful with the phrases and analogies I use with these guys, because they fruity. They fruity, man. They fruit roll-ups, frosted flakes. You know, Fruit Loops. Fuck, this is crazy, man. What is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. Big salute to everybody in the chat. You know what I'm saying? You ain't even heard Hassan Campbell put these dots together like that. You ain't heard nobody put the dots together. I'm like that. It's a reason why I carved out a lane for the real. I'm the only one in it. It's nobody in my lane, homie. I said what I said about that young lady. Not only was that wrong, what happened to her, it's angles to this. It's time and energy. It's angles to why and to prevent this happening again and happening to you. And then the whole thing with Gilbert Arenas is like, I have to. You never heard nobody pin the tail on the donkey when it come to these podcasts. When it come to these, and look at it, it's white people behind the scenes, sponsoring these podcasts. Is it a coincidence that these are the guys they all sponsoring? These are the guys that's getting the check. These are the yeah. Is it a coincidence? We don't believe in coincidences here at Grown Man Business TV. It's a reason why dudes like me get shadow banned and dudes like Mace get put on camera. Dudes like me get shadow banned and dudes like it's a reason for that. So listen, man, we definitely in doing what we do. Hold on, guys. We doing what we do. Like I said, man. Hold on. New Mexico. We riding out. It's beautiful out here right now. You feel me? It's gorgeous out here. So listen, man, you already know what time it is, man. It's your boy Grown Man Business TV. Feel what I'm saying? You can tap in, you can tap out, but you know my slogan. You know what I suggest, and I suggest you tap in. I suggest you tap into this grown man business. I suggest you tap in to this grown man content at all times. You already know what it is. Straight off the brick into the bottles. I'm giving you that dope straight off the brick into the bottles. Straight raw, pure, uncut, no extras, no preservatives, not sugarcoat nothing. We not dressing nothing up. Listen, homie. Gilbert Arenas, Saucy Santana. Yeah, I can't even say that. Matter of fact, X them out. Uh I don't even want to say it while I was talking. I can't even say it, but I'm gonna give it to you straight. I'm gonna give it to you the heterosexual way. Giving it to you raw right now in this predicament with these guys and certain stuff. I ain't talking about nothing raw. I'm gonna give it to you the heterosexual way. I'm gonna give it to you stand up grown man business. Mason Betha, you got some answering to do, homie. Salute to everybody in the chat. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. You came to the right place. We growing organically. You already see it's more and more in the live chat every time I go live. It's more trolls in the live chat every time I go live. The higher ups and the elites can't stop this shit. Yeah, they can shadow ban me. They can play with the algorithm, but they can't stop this shit. The organic growth is it's inevitable, my home. It's inevitable. Salute to my shooters in the chat. Wisdom B, I got you, man. Just give me matter of fact. You in the chat, Wisdom B? I'm gonna try to do that for. I want to lock you in. I've been meaning to do that. But salute to my shooters, man. Salute to my shooters in the chat. Yeah, we strapped up, baby. We locked and loaded. Hold on. My dog Wisdom B at. There you go. Bam, there you go. The homie Wisdom B is now an active shooter. Yeah, Charlie P, what it do, homie? Salute. My boy Wisdom B is an active shooter. Active shooter. Active. So you already know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. But you know, the game I gave y'all about the young lady, R.I.P. to her. But I want y'all to sit, and I want y'all. I gotta be careful when I'm talking with about these dudes, right? I want y'all to ponder. Ponder is way better than sit. You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to ponder on the information I gave you about these podcasts. I want you to ponder. I want you to think about the dots that I connected for you with three podcasts. I could go way more left. The Joe Budden podcast, all it, like I'm gonna go way more in depth with this live stream. But I just gave you three. Now just sit with that. By the time I'm gonna give y'all that in the whole live stream. Just make sure you subscribe to the channel so that when I go live, you get the notification and we gonna tap in, man. You already know what time it is. I'm crossing state lines at all times. Time and energy is the highest forms of currency. Never let them make you feel like you did something wrong for going out and getting a job or having a bag. I would suggest you get some credentials, but whatever you call it, do it. Because yeah, to get in look, to get in a position, you're gonna have a dildo on your sink. To get in a position, you're gonna flirt with a Saucy Santana, and most likely, I would bet money they somewhere and they done already linked up. He done already flew Saucy out, or Saucy done already flew him out, cause Saucy a man. Saucy a man, so man, he get flued out too. Gilbert Arenas. You think Saucy wasn't engaging with Diddy and Carisha? Saucy is all around the industry. Saucy is all around the industry. So don't never let them make you feel like you out of pocket because you ain't on that level or you ain't on this level. Guess what, man? You gonna eat some cock to get on that level, man. You want to get on that level? Diddy, you see what Mace at? Yeah, you see where Mace at. Imagine what Mace had to do. Imagine what he did. Mm. So you already know what time it is, man. It's your boy, Grown Man Business TV. You feel what I'm saying? You can tap in, you can tap out, but you know my slogan. You know what I suggest, and I suggest you tap in. Gang.